Dr. Keith Smithson, Sports Vision Pros. Contact lenses. This little soft piece of plastic that goes onto my eye and does magical things. Contact lenses are a very complicated little medical device. Number one, they are a medical device. They're FDA controlled. They are something that's controlled like a drug in this company. So it does have to be fit. It does have to be prescribed. Why does it have to be fit and prescribed? Well, because it actually sits on your eye. Unlike a pair of sports glasses that can sit away from the eye and change vision, the contact lens is something that has to fit properly on top of the cornea. It's something that has to be made from the right material to breathe properly and create a good healthy environment for the eye. It obviously has to create good vision, but it's something that does have a health component to it. So it's really truly treated like a medical device and has to be respected as far as the fitting process. So let's talk a little bit about the different types of contact lenses. There are things called hard contact lenses. Hard contact lenses are a really rigid material that are not used in general care very often. They can be used to kind of remold the eye, to kind of reshape the eye. There's something called ortho-K, which is a way that doctors can actually reshape the eye, a lot of times while a patient is sleeping overnight or an athlete is sleeping overnight, to give them good vision in the morning. They can fit these hard contact lenses for really extreme prescriptions that may not work with a soft contact lens. They can also use these hard contact lens materials if you're looking to actually change the prescription or slow down the prescription change if someone is what we call nearsighted or myopic. So hard contact lenses is a category of contact lenses that certainly is fit by a doctor in a doctor's office, just like we are in today. However, the majority of the world wearing contact lenses, the majority of new contact lens wearers, and the majority of our athletes are using what we call soft contact lenses. Soft contact lenses are, again, a plastic material that have a breathability component, how much oxygen flow gets through that piece of plastic. It also has a fitting component as to the size and shape of the lens and how it sits on the eye and how it's going to deliver that vision to the patient. What are some of the variables in soft contact lenses? Let's go look at a soft contact lens fitting set and why it is such a complicated process. In soft contact lenses, we literally have thousands of contact lenses in a doctor's office that can be used day to day for the fitting process of finding the correct lens, the correct parameter, with things like astigmatism, which is a curvature issue. We're talking about eyes and corneas that are shaped more like footballs than basketballs. So if we have an oval-shaped eye, we have to find an oval-shaped lens. We also have to find the curvature of the front of the eye. So if we're looking at the front of the eye and we have to put a contact lens on top of that eye, the lens has to fit. Is the front surface of the eye more flat or more steep? Is it more like a plateau or more like a mountain peak? Well, those kind of variables are really important when we're putting a contact lens on because the lens has to fit properly. If the lens is sliding around, moving around, we're going to lose vision or have variable vision in the middle of our competition, which is not going to be the way we want to see. So if we talk about the lens a little bit more, we have to work through a couple of things to make a successful contact lens fit. The one would be the way that the lens fits. As we talked about, it has to sit on the eye properly. It has to not move. It has to be stable. Think about a pair of glasses that someone's wearing, and that pair of glasses continues to rotate back and forth. Not a great thing if we're out there trying to hit a fastball or kick a soccer ball. So we want to have a pair of glasses that are stable, that don't move. We're talking about a contact lens, it's the same sort of scenario. If that lens is moving around on the eye, the vision will be variable. The other important aspect is vision. We have to see clearly. So as we talk about vision through a contact lens, the prescription is varied, is complicated. It can be essentially increased, decreased, or adjusted based on the curvature of the eye to make sure that that lens is delivering the best vision possible. So when you come into the doctor's office, when they're fitting you with the lenses, once we know that the lens fits on the eye properly, we're looking at the visual component. And if it's just not as clear as we need it to be, we can adjust those parameters to increase or change the vision based on the prescription. The last thing is obviously comfort. The lens itself has to be comfortable. If the lens doesn't feel comfortable on the eye, the athlete's not going to wear it, not going to use it, and we're going to take it off and go back to glasses or maybe struggle with nothing if we're just not into the glasses kind of scenario or if our sport doesn't permit the glasses option. So it has to be a comfortable lens. There's a lot of different plastics, literally hundreds of different polymers out there that are different types of plastics, softer plastics, thicker plastics, more hydrated plastics. So finding a lens that fits and sits on the eye, but continues to be comfortable through athletic competition when we may be dehydrating or going through a difficult environment is a very critical part of the contact lens fitting. What's exciting and new in contact lenses are some of those kind of variables that we just talked about. Really increasing moisture content, developing lenses that have moisture gradients, that lubricate themselves, that have lubricants invested and put into the materials, lubricants that sit on top of the material to actually create a more smooth blink of the eyelid across the contact lens. So, different kinds of lubricating agents to make sure that the lens stays as comfortable as possible, again, through that competition. And contrast enhancement. We talk about contrast in other sections on Sports Vision Pros as the quality and the quantity of vision. Someone being 20/20 is great, but how do they see in different lighting conditions? Well, we now have light adapting contact lenses. We've talked about that in the Oasis for Transitions from Johnson & Johnson. It's a really exciting technology that has light management capability, which means when we play our sport in varying lighting conditions, if we're a tennis player playing indoor and outdoor, we'd like to have a lens that works for us in both of those environments. So that lens does adapt to wavelengths of light, meaning that we're getting light filtering across the light spectrum from stadium lighting at night to daytime sun outside. Really exciting innovations in contact lenses. There's a lot to it, something you talk to your doctor about. Look at the doctor practitioner locator through Sports Vision Pros, through the AOA. Find a Sports Vision doc that can work with you and talk about the relevance of a contact lens and the important variables really that can be there to make sure that you have a successful fit and a successful experience with contact lenses in your sport. Until next time, Dr. Keith Smithson, Sports Vision Pros.